This is a slideshow shown at the 5th anniversary celebration for MoCoLMP. I'm delighted to share some of what this amazing group has been up to since its inception 5 years ago. Back in December of 2018, we had our first meeting, and here are a few leaders from that meeting. Tony Cohen was one of our founders. Alonzo Smith, an early member, now deceased. Ruth Gaynor and her now deceased husband, Hal. And here's a picture from our initial meeting. One of our first activities was to research the lynchings in our county. The names were given to us by the Equal Justice Initiative, but our team of historians moved beyond those initial sketchy facts to learn as much as possible about these three men. The leaders were Sarah Headland of Montgomery History, Tony, who I showed earlier, and Paul Holmes. The Racial Justice Group has held 2 racial justice essay contests, as well as workshops for educators. Leslie Young and Caitlin Atkins are the co-leads. We did a lot of cultural programming. Here is a picture of Ann Bowie, who appeared with Philip Kennicott of the Washington Post on Zoom. Double Take with Marcia Cole and Susan Strasser. And we had a film showing, 10 Days, by Joey Gehring, a recent Poolsville High School grad, about the desegregation battle in that school. Our plan was always to have a soil ceremony to commemorate the lynchings of the 3 victims, and then later to install a marker for each man. That plan evolved a bit over time, but we did start with a soil ceremony for Mr. George Peck in Poolsville. That happened November 3 of 2019. Our MC and longtime member, Pastor Chuck Copeland from Poolsville. The soil that we collected was sent to the EJI Legacy Museum and is on display in their collection of soil from each of the lynching sites. After the soil service in Poolsville, we had a large circle conversation also at Montgomery College, and also one at Montgomery College. Mr. John Diggs Dorsey and Mr. Sidney Randolph were lynched quite close to one another. Our work here started with a remembrance walk featuring drumming. The soil ceremony had singing and speaking and preaching by many of our members and local community members. This is Reverend Alice Walker Johnson from Clinton AME Zion Church in Rockville. Again, soil jars. After 2 soil ceremonies, we moved on to do lots of community education. It happened in Rockville. Book club. Trip to Button Farm for the unveiling of the Harriet Tubman statue. Field trips to the historically Black community of Sugar Land. And another field trip to the historically Black community, Martinsburg. Conversation circles at locals in Poolsville about the upcoming installation of the marker there. The marker for Mr. Peck was dedicated on October 22nd of 2023 in Poolsville. We were proud to receive a proclamation stating that this was the first marker installed for this purpose in Montgomery County. You can see video interviews with members of our community on our webpage. The Remembrance and Reconciliation Commission of Montgomery County took the lead on installing the markers for Mr. John Diggs Dorsey and Mr. Sidney Randolph. They're the members of that commission. We have such great partners. This is just a partial list. Thank you.